another class. Or should I say, briefing. Today's lesson is pay your bills, not hers. Why? Why would you think it is okay to pay her bills and not yours? A lot of you agents are rookies, and I understand that. A lot of you agents are rookies, and I understand that. A lot of you agents are rookies, and I understand that. Because you don't understand rule number one, and that is take care of yourself. You need to understand one thing about the huz. If anything, you need to understand one thing about the huz. They only care about themselves. Have you guys ever heard the term narcissist? 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 Yes, it is a term that the huz utilize every single day. It's actually their best quality. That is why you need to take care of yourself, pay your bills, and not hers. I don't understand how you don't understand that this has existed for almost 700 years. Before they were paying bills, they were gathering their own rocks, you know what I'm saying? Starting their own fires, you know what I'm saying? Taking out their own mammoths, you know what I'm saying? Building their own houses, you know what I'm saying? Gathering their own resources, you know what I'm saying? They were doing a lot of things. The men of time, they were doing a lot of things, and they were doing these things, and the things that they were doing were attracting us. Fast forward 700 years. Everybody has cars, everybody has money, everybody has the finer things in life, and we forgot that we are still hunters and gatherers. So what do we need to gather? Our resources. What does that mean? That means you take care of yourself. You do not pay her bills, you pay your bills. It makes sense, doesn't it? It makes sense. Look. These are her bills. These are her bills. These are her bills. What are we not doing? We are not paying her bills. We are going to have self-control. You need to have self-control. Self-control is not about the physical. Get your mind out the gutter. This is not about the physical. This is about the financial. You need to have financial self-control. You need to make sure that you pay your bills, not hers. You need to have what? Financial self-control. Financial self-control. That means that every time you get money, you don't spend it because she's a girl. You don't spend it because she's a huz. You don't spend it because she's requesting. You don't spend it because you're bored. You save. Remember, you save. Who remembers the magic number that we need? You save. Remember, save. You want to get what? 100K. You want 100K. You want 100K. You want 100K. In what? Your bank account. You want 100K in your bank account. You want 100K in your bank account. Why do you need 100K? You want 100K because when you have 100K, that means that you can what? Date the huz seriously. When you date the huz seriously, remember, you do not have to be a nice guy. Only nice guys pay her bills. Only nice guys pay her bills. Only nice guys pay her bills. When you do that, when you are a nice guy, you are the one that's always covering the bill. You're covering the bill, whether it's dinner, whether it's her nails, whether it's her hair, whether it's her next outfit for the next date that she's going to be on. Because a lot of the times, girls have different type of men for different type of task. Girls have different type of men for different type of task. You have to understand, what man will you be? Will you be the man that pays your bills and not hers? Or will you be the man that is a nice guy that pays her bills? You have to remember, these huz have different type of men for different type of times and different type of tasks and different type of men. You guys gotta remember, in order to be able to be a successful man, you have to not only do things that the nice guy wouldn't do, you have to understand which type of man will you fit into her box. What box will she check you in if you do not fit the mold? You are not allowed to be a nice guy. We are not allowing you to be a nice guy. We are not allowing you to be a nice guy because only nice guys pay her bills. I want you to pay your bills, not hers. This is not the craziest concept, but it is the simplest concept. Remember, don't spend a dime to complete the mission. You need to understand, she has different type of men for different type of tasks. What man will you be? There is a man right now in her roster that is completing the mission every single time, not spending a dime. What type of man are you? Are you the nice guy? The one that pays her bills? Or are you the bad guy? the one that completes the mission every single time, not spending a dime. This isn't even a choice that needs to be made for you. This is a choice that you need to make for yourself. The best guys in life, the guys that are having the time of their lives, are the ones that don't spend a dime to complete the mission. They're the ones completing the mission without spending a dime. Remember, pay your bills, not hers. You need to take care of yourself. You need to have self-control, financial self-control. You need to understand that only nice guys pay her bills. And you also need to understand not to spend a dime to complete the mission. When you have financial self-control, you save to 100K. You get that 100K in your bank account. After you get that 100K in your bank account, you can now date the HUD seriously. You can now date the HUD seriously after you have 100K in your bank account. It will make sense. It will make sense when you get there. And when you get there, trust me, you'll be like, I finally understand what the director was briefing me on. This isn't rocket science, but it could be if you don't understand. That's why I need you to lock in. I need you to lock in on the concept. Pay your bills, not hers. We are not going to pay her bills. We are going to take care of ourselves. We're going to have financial self-control, 100K in the bank account. That's only so that we can take the HUD seriously. Because reality is, only nice guys pay her bills. And we are not going to spend a dime. We are just going to complete the mission. It is a spectacular feat ahead. It is mission impossible ahead. But you have to be the one to understand. Nothing is impossible if it's probable. Are you going to complete the mission? Or are you going to sit there and act like you don't understand what I'm saying? Agents, you have a task ahead of you. But understand, everything always starts off as mission impossible. But you have to be like Tom Cruise. You have to complete the mission. I'll see you guys tomorrow.